Hi, everyone. My name is Wendy Myers of MyersDetox.com. And today we're going to be teaching you about how to use your miHealth. I'm so excited that you got your own miHealth. I'm really proud of you because I know it's an expensive purchase and it's an investment in your health. And I use this thing every single day. I absolutely love it. I never go anywhere without it. I never travel without it. Because it's like a little pocket doctor. Any kind of issue I'm having with my health, this is the first thing that I look at, even before supplements, even before other things that I'm doing. I just, look at all the different functions in my health and what can solve the problem that I'm having at that moment. And so today we're going to talk about like what exactly does the miHealth do? EMF emissions for the miHealth. I know some people have concerns about that. Nothing to be concerned about, but we're going to address that. Some functions that you'd see in the PDFs you got that you downloaded, you should have received, and all the different functions that are used, like me and Melissa's favorite functions. We're going to be talking to Melissa today, who's our NES Health practitioner here at Myers Detox. We're going to be talking about on-body versus broadcast mode. So that's touching your body with the miHealth versus not touching your body with the miHealth and using that, the differences, and how often you need to use the miHealth, how long you should be doing each function, and some really surprising stories about reversal of symptoms using the miHealth. And we'll talk about, how do you know what your body needs? Like, how do you know what functions you should be doing with the miHealth and how a miHealth integrates with a NES Health program. And so NES Health is a bioenergetic program that we offer here at Myers Detox. We'll talk about what that is exactly and how to use that with your miHealth. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Melissa Hall. She is our head practitioner here at Myers Detox. She's a NES Health bioenergetic practitioner. So Melissa, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us exactly what this little revolutionary device does exactly and how does it, elicit change in our bodies?
Sure. Well, let's start with what bioenergetics is, which is basically our energy field. Every living thing has an energy field, and that field helps to coordinate all of the physiological functions in our body. But through lots of different means, we can have field damage, get energy blockages, whether it's, toxins, pathogens, emotional trauma. And so where NES can help us out is to help correct and restore our energy field to bring, full function to our bodies. And so what we do with the miHealth device is it's pulsed EMF biofeedback device, which allows transmission of that information to help correct our field.
Yes. So the miHealth has, over 200 different functions on it. And these functions basically, transmit information or correct operating instructions or healing messages to your body. And that, elicits a change in your body's energy field, which then elicits a change in your physical body. And then you see relief of symptoms as a result of that. So can you explain that a little bit just to help the listeners understand that concept?
Sure. So we have many, many levels of energy fields in the body, from the smallest cell up to our entire human body field. And when you work with different functions in the miHealth, you'll be working on different levels to help make sure that at the basic level, our cells are energized properly. We have the proper charge distribution in and outside the cellular membrane. When we have that, we attract energy into the cell, nutrients, hormones, and proper function. So you can do that. And then we work at even larger levels to help organ function, organ systems. And so basically that's what we're working with when we're working with the miHealth.
Okay, and so a common question people have is, can the miHealth hurt you? Like right before they do their one-on-one consult with you or one of our other practitioners,
Mhm.
people are concerned that they don't want to use it until they kind of understand what it does because they're concerned it's going to hurt you. Can you talk about that? And let's talk about EMF emissions also from the miHealth.
Sure. So there are friendly EMF emissions and non-friendly EMF emissions. I basically say, when devices are created, they're given a bandwidth of frequency that they can use. And basically we start, here are all the natural frequencies, and now we're giving out more and more frequencies away from nature. Those are the harmful ones. What's inside the miHealth are the friendly ones. So everything in here is natural information that your body needs to be well. So there's nothing in here that's going to harm you.
No, a cell phone has 100 times the EMF emission of a miHealth. So you don't have anything to worry from the miHealth.
Yeah, exactly. This
Yeah,
is what your body needs to be healthy.
exactly,
The cell
exactly.
phone is what your body needs to be unhealthy.
Yeah, and so these friendly emissions that are in the miHealth. So what is it like? Who discovered this? So Dr. Peter Fraser spent 30 years mapping out a perfectly functioning energetic body. So the frequencies at which our like liver vibrates ideally, a perfectly functioning liver energy frequency, so to speak. And they did that for every different organ system and mapped this out. And then Harry Massey, who's the founder of NES Health, the company that makes the miHealth, he put this all into a software program and then also spent 6 years putting all that information into this nifty little portable device. And so that's what's being communicated to your body is correct operating instructions for your liver, for instance, correct operating instructions for your kidneys or your thyroid or your adrenals or your ovaries or your testes, doing a lot of different things to correct energetic functioning and then correct physical functioning at the same time.
Right. I always say, you need both the raw materials and then you need the instructions on what to do with it. So our nutrition is important. You, of all people, are a huge expert on what we need for nutrition and supplementation, but you also need to know what to do with that. And that's what's in here.
Okay, fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about the PDF documents that people got when they got their miHealth. So there's there's 3 different PDFs that you should have received. And if you haven't received them, just email support@miHealthdetox.com and we'll get those over to you. And so there's 3 documents that people get that talk about the different functions that people can choose based on the different symptoms that you're having or different goals you're trying to address with your health or emotional health. Can you talk about those a little bit, Melissa?
Yes. So one of the documents that you would have gotten is going to be a glossary of all the functions that are in the miHealth. So it'll let you know when you turn it on. You might be wondering, what does this do? This name doesn't sound familiar to me. Like energy align. What does that do for me? Or what does head do for me? That's great for headaches, by the way. And so this is going to help you understand what each of those are. It's also going to help you understand any symbols that we use inside the device. Then you're going to get a protocols document. Now, a lot of people, when I get together with them, they'll say, I want a custom protocol for this or that or the other. And I just assure them, Cyril Burke, director of NES Health in Australia, did a tremendous amount of clinical research with the device before it was ever released. He is an expert. He does our master's miHealth trainings, and he developed those. So the techniques you have in your protocols document, those are clinically proven, developed protocols. So yes, you can string together custom protocols, but that's an amazing start. And that's, what a lot of practitioners use for their miHealth Bible.
Yes, he had a clinic called the Zap House in Australia, and he helped as he was one of the engineers that helped to develop the miHealth. They spent 6 years working on this, and then they just took everything from all the different devices and improved on them. There's like Sinar and there's other devices. They took all that and they put that in here, but plus they have the proprietary intellectual property that Dr. Peter Fraser discovered. That he spent 30 years, his life's work researching. He had an acupuncture clinic for 14 years in Australia and just took all his knowledge and research and put it in this. That's in this device as well. So much has gone into this, and that's why it works so well. So tell us what's in the third document, the third PDF that people get.
So that basically helps you understand from a high level how to use the miHealth. How long should a protocol be? So each of the items you can run on the miHealth we call a function, and when you string functions together, you create a protocol. So you might have a headache protocol, or a I can't fall asleep protocol, or my shoulder hurts protocol. And so it talks to you at a high level about sort of how to use those things, like you only really need to run a function in the miHealth for 2 minutes. So for most people, we think 2 minutes is just a tiny amount of time, but at the quantum level, it's an eternity. Your body can get all the information it needs. So you only need to run each function for 2 minutes. And then we really recommend initially only running a protocol of about 20 minutes in length. That's a lot of information for your body to digest.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you can only take in so much corrective information in one day at one time. We don't want to overload the body. We don't want to
Yes.
be using the miHealth all day long. It's funny, when I was working with Dr. Joe Mercola, I worked with him for 3 months, teaching him about bioenergetics and teaching him about how to use the miHealth. And he was just going crazy with it and just using it all day long. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I know you're excited, but we
Drinking from the
just,
fire hose.
yeah, exactly. You just, because he's so brilliant, and he's always trying to perfect his health, and but he was going a little overboard with it. But so you need to only don't use it more than 20 minutes a day, because you don't want to negate anything that you're doing, any positive things that you're doing for your health with bioenergetics. Like I said, there's only so much corrective information the body can handle. So general rule of thumb, just keep it at 20 minutes.
Right. We don't want to cause any stress in the body, and that can be done by overloading it with information. I think one of the most profound things Cyril shared at the miHealth Masters training was the more the severe the symptoms people had, the more gently he went with the miHealth, and he saw more progress in that way, rather than, like you say, just using it all day with high intensity, and the body doesn't really respond to that well.
Yeah, so it's baby steps. So it's, obviously working on the most, pressing issues that you have. But you can always do, change it up. Like one day I'll do the transformation setting that balances all of your chakras. And then the next day I'll be working on emotional trauma with Liberator and clearing that. And the next day, there's just different things that I work on based on what I feel I need on that
Right.
given day, or what kind of resonates with me. And so let's talk about generally, for each function, how long do you want to do that function? Say you put it on Liberator to address emotional trauma. How long do you want to use that for?
Yeah, 2 minutes is generally all that's needed. If you find that you are working with something that's a little stubborn or a little sticky, and you've been using the miHealth and you've tried a couple of different, approaches, for instance, one thing that's in the protocols document, you'll see when you get it in the middle section, there'll be 3 different options, whether you think something's physically based, energetically based, or emotionally. So if you've tried all those and you feel like you're making progress, but maybe you could use a little more, you can go up to 4 minutes. But that's really, something that's out of the norm. Two
Yeah, there's a
minutes is typically good.
there's a really interesting story I had about someone that wasn't really familiar with the miHealth, and they put it on Liberator because they wanted to
Yes,
work on clear emotional trauma, do an emotional detox, so to speak. And
right.
then they put the miHealth in their pocket, and they just forgot about it. And it stayed on for like 24 hours. Like they went to bed. They said they were on vacation. They just didn't change, or so it was just on for a long time. And that they were kind of curled up in a ball crying, you know, because he released too much. It was just too much, and so in that way, we don't want to say you're going to harm your health, but it just sometimes detox can be uncomfortable. Like if you're
Yeah.
not using the miHealth correctly, it can elicit change too quickly, maybe faster than you're ready to deal with. But it's all good though. It's not going to hurt you. It's just you may feel a little bit uncomfortable while you're having a release.
Right. The amplitude of the shift may be a little bigger than what you
Yeah,
wanted.
what you're hoping for. It's all good. It's all positive change. You're not going to be hurt by the mental health. You may have detox symptoms. Let's talk a little bit about that. So healing reactions or like detox symptoms, so to speak, what I refer to as emotional detox. What are some of the things people might expect when they're using a mind health and they're having like a shift or a change?
Sure. I mean, I tell my clients anytime we create higher intelligence in the body, we can have change, that we don't even expect. We make connections and things just start happening. So yeah, you can detox off of any function that you might run on the miHealth. And so it's just going to be your typical things. You may have headache, you may have some achiness, you may have some fatigue where you need to go to bed early. So we always want to be drinking a lot of water. We always want to have a good nutritional plan that's helping to facilitate the removal of those toxins. And frankly, we need more rest when we're healing. And so if you need to go to bed early, go to bed early.
Yeah, and then people can have depression. Like I definitely had one setting I did. I was working on my liver. My liver keeps coming up when I'm doing my work with bioenergetics, and
Mhm.
so I did this liver function, and I was depressed, to be honest, for a couple of days. And so that's just a natural process that can happen with some people, and other people can have insomnia because they're just something is releasing or shifting, especially with emotional trauma. For anyone who's had a lot of emotional trauma or abuse, you may have some emotional stuff being released, but that's what you're here for. You're here for change. You're here to make a shift. And so some of these things may be uncomfortable, but at the same time, you think of these as welcome, because these are things that are releasing, that you're expelling from your body, that you're changing for the better, even though it might be uncomfortable temporarily.
Right. Yeah, I think the thing is, I tell people when they feel things like that, that was already in your body. And isn't it good that you're getting it out? You're seeing how bad it was, and it's good that it's actually coming out. So it's nothing new. It was in there. So let's get rid of it.
Yes, and while certainly you can use settings on the MyHealth like chill to reduce anxiety, and that's something that
Mhm.
I tend to use maybe at the end of the day. I'm
I
feeling a
love
little like,
chill.
a little anxious, a little worked up, a little cortisol rush, and then I will use a chill setting to reduce anxiety, which is amazing, or ESR, emotional stress
Mhm.
release. But sometimes when you are doing certain functions or having emotional release, you can feel anxiety as a result of that. And so again, nothing to be concerned about, just a normal process of healing.
Yes, exactly. And I think often, we get in the places that we get into because we push too hard. So just back to the point about being gentle, that's what we need for healing. I love Bruce Lipton says, cells are always they're either, surviving or thriving, one or the other. And so we want to be on the thriving. So we got to come in gently.
So let's talk about on body versus broadcast mode. And
Yes.
so let's just explain what those are first.
Sure. Those are just terminologies that we use about whether these electrodes are on or not. So these electrodes, which are basically here and at the end of the device, these activated the TENS function of the unit, just like if you went and got TENS therapy at the physical therapist. When we're using broadcast mode, we're just getting the pulsed EMF and scanar information. When we use on body, that's when the electrodes become active. Now, just because you're using broadcast doesn't mean you can't touch the device to your body. You don't have to sit there and hold it. I tell people, make it as easy as possible. You can rest it against your shoulder. You can put it on your solar plexus. By off body, we don't mean to insinuate that you can't touch it. It just means the electrodes aren't active.
Yes, and so for the on body is what we call it. So you're
Mhm.
taking these electrodes and you're touching your body. So for me, I don't know why I have issues with sleeping. I always wake up with like a stiff neck. Not always, but just occasionally. And so when that happens, then I'll be taking the electrodes and putting them on my neck. and then I'll usually put acute balance, like you're having pain or any kind of any kind of pain. I just put acute balance on
Yep.
the physical folder. And so I will be doing this on my neck like this, and then you'll kind of feel like a little buzzing sensation, and that's fine. It shouldn't hurt. You don't want you it shouldn't ever feel pain. You don't have to feel pain or feel like you're getting electrocuted or something with this. The when you're using it on body, it should just feel comfortable. That's not going to cause more change or be better if it's on a high setting.
Right.
It should just feel comfortable, and that's what I do. And then off body have the same exact function. You can have acute balance or any function and have it, off your body, because the information is transmitted 2 feet. And so it can be far away from you, or you can just have it closer to your body on the exact body part you're trying to address. Or you can also put it on your heart. So you can put it on your heart here. And so, because your heart will transmit information to your entire body. So you can just put it on your heart that way, and that will get the information anywhere in your body. Do you have anything you want to add, Melissa?
I think you covered it very well. When I do the on body, I basically ramp it up until it starts to get a little prickly, and then I ramp it back down. So that's kind of how I go with using it. So yeah, prickly. It's not more pain, more gain with the miHealth for sure. You don't want that.
Yes. And so when you're putting it on a setting, so on body, there's a little, so let's talk about how we get to on body versus off body.
Sure.
So when you're on a setting, so let's go to acute balance, what I just talked about in your physical folder. You
Mm-hmm.
go to acute balance, press the button, and then in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little picture that has 2 little bars that look just like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can tap that. And so that's on body. So when
Mm-hmm.
you're wanting to put it on body, you just leave it how it is, because that's the default factory settings. And then you can do it on your neck or your knee or whatever's hurting you. But if you want to do off body or broadcast mode, what it's called, then you just simply tap the 2 bars with your finger, and then it changes to what looks like a little radio tower. It's actually looks like a little human body with
I call it a snow angel.
a snow angel, or it looks like a little radio tower emitting a frequency or something, a radio wave. And then that is the off body mode. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the simplest way to explain it. And then if you want to increase the intensity, then if you're looking at your miHealth, there's 2 little buttons right here, and you just increase it to go up to increase the intensity and down to decrease the intensity. And
Mm-hmm.
then just find the setting that works for you, and you can turn it up or down as needed.
Yep, exactly. And typically the thicker the tissue, the more intensity you probably need to get the energy that's being emitted from the device to where it needs to go. So less intense if you're working, say, on the shoulder versus like on your thigh.
Exactly. Okay, great. So let's talk a little bit about, I use off body quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
I'll usually, have a couple, settings on here, and then I'll just put it on off body and then put it on my heart. And then it will
Mm-hmm.
transmit that message through my matrix, my cellular matrix, which carries information throughout our body. That's in our connective tissue. And so
Mm-hmm.
this is something that people may not know, is that we have a connective tissue, our myofascia in our bodies. There's lots of like crystal structures in there that distribute information throughout our body. And so what I'm doing is when I put it on my heart is I'm just, sending that information to my heart area, and then it gets transmitted to the rest of my body. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think Heart Math talks about that beautifully, the heart imprinter's function. And what I tell people is if there's ever a function, that you just think, I don't know where on my body I would actually put this, I just say, put it over your heart.
So let's talk about some really interesting stories that both you and I have when people are using the miHealth and some of the change that can happen. So I think it's easy for like you and I as practitioners. We've been to all kinds of trainings. I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of people about their
Mhm.
experiences with the miHealth. There are amazing stories of healing. And when we've seen it in person, I've gone to 2 advanced miHealth trainings. I've been to practitioner training twice, so I've heard lots of stories. So tell us some
Mhm.
stories that you have about the miHealth.
Yeah, sure. I'll share one of the ones from master's class. Um, One of the students, she had had several cesarean, births, and had, some decent scarring from that. And she also suffered from hot flashes for about 20 years. Literally kept a spare set of sheets next to the bed, and every night would have to pull the sheets off and put new sheets on. Just so. And we worked the scar with the miHealth for about 15 minutes. And the next day she came in and she said, no hot flashes. And we were there 4 more days and they never came back. And then we kept in touch after that. And she said they were gone permanently after 20 years of them.
Oh wow. Yeah, and that's another thing that miHealth does is it can help to balance your hormones. And we all us ladies, we struggle with this in one form or another typically. And heavy metals play a big role in that, but so does stress, and so do things that cause energetic blocks in our bodies. A lot of different things working against our hormones and chemicals in the environment and whatnot. But so what's great about the miHealth is that there are settings on here that can help you to balance the hormones and things you can do. So many amazing things you can do with this that we're going to be addressing over the course of this video series, how you can elicit change in your body with this. But with hormones, there's a setting on here called female that will help to balance your hormones. And I love this setting because if I'm ever kind of just feeling like I'm not having a good period, or I don't personally have hot flashes, or I'm not in menopause yet, but that's coming. But I know a lot of our people watching this video are dealing with that. And so this is an amazing thing you can do to assist with that, because there's really not a lot of things you can do apart from hormone replacement therapy with conventional medicine or functional medicine that might offer progesterone cream or just do stuff that really doesn't work all that well and can have pretty serious health consequences for some people with the hormone replacement therapy.
Right. And I think who would ever guess that a scar could hold so much energy in it that it could actually disrupt your hormones, and that just something as simple as releasing that energy, like you said, it's that fascial matrix. That scar breaks that matrix, and so getting that realigned and opening that energy flow had such a major impact on her hormonal balance immediately.
Yes, and I mean, I had my breast implants removed, and I will actually use the miHealth on my scars as well, because I know I have internal scars as well. And the scars cause energetic blockages in your body. They prevent communication to that area. And
Yes.
so you can use the miHealth with the on body, go over the area of the scar that you have, and it'll help improve and break down the scar, but
Hmm.
also help improve communication to that body area, which will improve the physical health of that area.
Yep, exactly. And I don't want to leave out the men. There's a male setting too, right?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so you can use that male function if you're trying to balance your hormones also for you guys. And
Yep.
so are there any other stories you can think of that were just really kind of stood out to you?
So this is someone I've never actually met in person, but I see a mother, and I also see scans for her daughters. And they are not able to scan every month, but so she bought the miHealth for gap months. Just tremendous change throughout her entire family. And because the majority of what they use is the miHealth device, she attributes it to that. She even made her own little pouch so that she can wear it around the house, and it holds the miHealth right over her heart. She ties it around her neck so she can adjust it whether it's her or her daughters. And just the tremendous emotional change that they've seen throughout the family has just been phenomenal. And so I don't want to break any confidences, but this is a family who's had some difficult situations, and so they have really been able to change things just with the miHealth device, things that they haven't been able to change with anything else.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention is I have, a number of people that clients, and then just other people that I know that have been using the MyHealth, and then all of a sudden they stop smoking as much. They stop drinking. For me, like other compulsive kind of behavior can stop. Like for me, I attribute my resolution of bulimia to using the My Health and doing a NES Health type program, which we'll talk about in a second. That's something you use in conjunction with the My Health, or to give direction on what functions you should be using on the My Health. And so for me, it was very, very profound in stopping that behavior when I was really at a loss otherwise. But for other clients, they without even trying, not even trying to stop their addictions or stop their compulsive behavior, it just stops, or it dramatically improves, because the emotional trauma or whatever driver was, or genesis of that behavior, is leaving the body, is resolving, is shifting, because of the information that's being fed to their body and then corrected with the My Health.
Yeah, whatever they were trying to cover up or itch they were trying to scratch with the addiction, they no longer have to.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's really, really interesting. That's another thing you might not know about what the My Health can do. And there's just so many things that the My Health can do. You're going to be getting another video about every different function and all the 200 functions and what each of them do. I have a video that I did that I just go over every single one, so you can look forward to that one. But we wanted to do this video as a basic primer on answering your most frequently asked questions about the MyHealth. But don't worry, there's more to come. And you can also, you should have also gotten an email talking about, giving you a login to the Nest Health portal, because there's also more instructional videos there, lots of videos and other things and movies that you can watch about the MyHealth, about bioenergetics in general. I recommend watching the Living Matrix movie, which gives you kind of an overall picture overview of what bioenergetics is and how using energy medicine can help to address your health issues that you're looking to resolve, be they physical or emotional. And so more to come. And so thank you so much for watching today. Melissa, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've pretty much, we've got a good start on it. So, definitely watch the videos though before the training session. That'll help you just get familiar with the device, how to navigate around, and then we can really dive into more complex topics.
Yes,
Yeah.
fantastic. So log into your portal, poke around in there, check out the information there, and we will see you on the next video.
Thank you.